Hey, Houtan here. In this video, I want to talk to you about one of the most asked questions that I get from buyers, and that is, Houtan, what is the market price of this property? You tell me what is the market price and I will not pay 1 cent over the market price. You know what? I get these questions a lot when I work with the buyers, and this is a very valid question. This is a very tricky question, but I get it. When you want to buy a property, you want to know what is the market price and market value of the property, because at the end of the day, when you apply for loan, the bank will have to appraise the property to give you the proper mortgage, and that's based on the market value and market price. So you don't want to overpay for a property if you don't have to. So what is the market price? So the true definition of market price is what a willing bank qualified buyer under no external pressure in a balanced market is willing to pay for a property, and what the seller will accept for will determine the market price. So that transaction that happens between the buyer and the seller in a balanced market under no pressure sets the market price, which will then influence the market value of the future properties. So how do we determine market price? We usually look at the past comparables of similar features in the same neighborhood, and then we come up with the range, and that range would be, and we say this is what we think this property will sell for based on what we see in the market, and that's what's been happening in the past. So now market value, and how do you assess market value? So market value is assessed once the different features of the property are determined. So what does that mean? If the property has a finished basement or an extension, that will impact the market value. What other things will impact market value? It's how competitive the market is. What is the ratio between supply and demand, right? So this is all the environment that will impact the market value. The main difference between market value and market price is usually market value in the eyes of the seller is a lot more than what a buyer would pay for, or its market price. And I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm buying a house from you, and you have a pool, swimming pool in your house, and you have kids, and you've been enjoying this swimming pool for past 5-6 years. Every summer you use it all the time, you have guests over, and you see a lot of value in this swimming pool because you used it a lot and you had a lot of good times. But I come in as a buyer and I don't swim, so I don't see any value in this swimming pool, and I set the market value of this property because of its swimming pool at here, and then the seller will see that here because the seller, you really enjoyed this swimming pool. So now you see that's where the gap is between what the seller wants and what the buyer is willing to pay, and that's where us as professionals, we come in, and then we work with both the buyer, the seller, and the other side, the agent, and try to land on a number that is satisfactory to both. Because at the end of the day, any buyer and seller, when you want to do a deal, a transaction, you want to keep everybody happy. It should be win-win, not win-lose, right? Because you want the transaction to be going smooth, and you want both parties to be happy. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have more questions about different things of the market, don't hesitate to call me or send me a DM.